the Orange Development 2011 annual report. I think all of you know we are on fire for economic development. Mr. Grimmer.
How are you? Good evening, everybody. What First Selectman Zioli said is absolutely right. Everything is going right now, especially in the industrial zone. In 2011, we had 22 new businesses come to town. It's not one of our higher years, but the people that have come in this year and are they're making a dent. Last February I was here, and at that time I reported that we had already in the year, we had 4 new restaurants slated to come in, and I kind of dubbed it the year of the restaurant. In fact, out of the 22 businesses that we had last year, 9 of the new ones, 9 of them, were restaurant or food-related businesses. So that was about 41% of all businesses that came into town were restaurant or food-related. When we talk about all the good stuff, 22 new businesses, we also lost 10. Surprisingly, 40% of them were food or restaurant-related businesses. So you give and you take, and so we'll take that. We'll take those numbers. Also, in 2010, we started the year at almost an 11% total vacancy rate. It was 10.91, and the biggest number that jumps right out at you was 15.36% vacancy rate in the industrial zone. And this year, with the combination of Aurora products being purchased, the KX industry being leased, and various other industrial things that went on during the year, our vacancy rate now in the industrial zone today is 6.9%.
Did Wallach Surgical close today?
No, and that is expected to close on Friday. There was an unfortunate passing. One of the attorneys dealing with the project had a death in the family, so that kind of put it off for a couple of days.
So if the attorney passed, I was going to
but Carl Russell is the lead agent on that, and he's brought in a fabulous group. He asked me not to say who and what yet, but to say that everybody's on board, and it's just a matter of getting everybody in the same room. If you add the $40,000 from the Wallach Surgical Building, and, which I haven't done yet, the additional increase in the total amount of industrial space as a result of United Illuminating coming in, our vacancy rates will be down to 4.9%. And that's just an amazing stat when you consider the vacancy rates all across the state that have vacancy rates of 4.9%. It's just absolutely fabulous. Surprisingly, our vacancy rate on the Boston Post Road didn't go down very much. It only went down about 0.2%, and office space went up about 0.8%. But it's funny though how numbers can. Say, well, that must have been a lot of office space. It only translates into about 5,000 square feet vacant today than it was last year. And what's also that I could report too is the same realtor, Carl Russell, has brought in 2 new companies into the Springbrook Commons property, which will eat up the $5,000 that we had been missing. So things, 5,000 square feet that we had been missing. So things really are going in the right direction all over the place.
And Lou Proto from the Proto Group brought in Colony Hardware.
Yep.
Who's working on somebody with Orange Family Diner at the moment, and he has another one which I can't disclose.
Right.
So I mean, they're out there.
And they're all working. Fred Masor, local guy. He's brought in 2 properties over there at the 109 building where Munson's is, the old former,
Is it overlay?
yeah,
Urgent care.
Urgent care. And we have a tenant moving in from University of New Haven. They're doing a lot of expansion, and they're bringing in one of their divisions up on the second floor of that building as well. So some of the things you might not notice, but they make a big difference.
Huge.
Yeah. And as Jim was talking about Edison Road, I have to tell you, I'm tickled to death to get out there and finally put my feet into some dirty ground because all the trees are gone, and Jim's like, First Selectman Zioli said, "Get up there, bring your camera, and don't forget your boots." So I've got my boots in my car, and my camera's all charged full of battery, and every few days we go up there. And, yeah.
Since the 60s, they tell me.
Well, it was on the comprehensive plan of development back in the 1960s at a tune of $160,000.
That's what cost me over $1 million.
So we're going to go right from this. First Selectman Zioli and I and the other powers that be are going to determine what's the best course of action. Do we get an engineer? Do we use the town engineer? We mentioned getting the cost estimates for the water. We're in the process right now of doing the same for the sewer and also the electric. And the United Illuminating Company came back after we asked them for their quote. They said they will install all of the power to Edison Road, initially with secondary power sources, and as the properties on either side get developed, they will bring in the necessary utilities to cover those at their expense. So there's no cost to the town there. So now, if we're lucky, and the Southern Connecticut Gas Company, because there's 50, 60, 70 acres up there that's vacant. Hazard has gas, Wallet Surgical has gas, Aurora Products has gas. We're gonna put gas right down the road, and we've got all that acreage there on either side of us that will hopefully be serviced by gas. And if they do their calculations right, we may be the benefit of that as well.
We've got the water coming in, $190,000 for their part.
Yeah, their part was a little bit more than we anticipated, but so far things have been in line. So we may find out in 6 months that we have a contract and we're going out there. Remember, all the engineering's done. It's just a matter of making sure we put the monies together with the project with the engineers. So we're gonna continue on that through the summer, and hopefully late summer, early fall, we might actually see some road construction out there.
On the road before.